फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello and welcome to the Cricket Next YouTube channel. India and England are all ready to face each other in a 5-match test series which begins tomorrow in Hyderabad. But there's one name which is missing in the first two test matches, and that's Virat Kohli. We all know Virat Kohli has taken a break from the first two test matches because of personal reasons. He won't be there in the squad playing the first two test matches in Hyderabad, then in Visakhapatnam. So all eyes were on the player who will रिप्लेस विराट कोहली इन द टेस्ट स्क्वाड फॉर द फर्स्ट टू टेस्ट मैचेस. काफी नाम आ रहे थे. सरफराज खान का नाम आ रहा था, रजत पटीदार का नाम आ रहा था, चेतेश्वर पुजारा का नाम आ रहा था, काफी प्लेयर्स का नाम आ रहा था. लेकिन उनमें से अगर एक प्लेयर जिसका नाम अब रिपोर्ट्स में आ रहा है कि दैट प्लेयर इज ऑल सेट टू रिप्लेस विराट कोहली इन द टेस्ट स्क्वाड फॉर द फर्स्ट टू मैचेस, इट इज रजत पटीदार. उनका नाम रिपोर्ट्स में आ गया है कि ही विल रिप्लेस विराट कोहली इन द फर्स्ट टू टेस्ट मैचेस फॉर द स्क्वाड. और सुबह हमने बात की थी विनीत रामकृष्णन से. विनीत हमारे साथ फिर से जुड़ रहे हैं लाइव फ्रॉम हैदराबाद. हाय विनीत. Vineet is in Hyderabad as we speak. He's there for the first India versus England test match. Vineet, according to the reports, रजत पटीदार का नाम आ रहा है विराट कोहली को रिप्लेस करने के लिए. क्या लगता है आपको, कितना इसमें ऑथेंटिसिटी है और क्या रजत पटीदार इज अ परफेक्ट फिट टू रिप्लेस विराट कोहली इन द स्क्वाड?
Look, first of all, there is no confirmation from BCCI as of yet. But having said that, it is more or less certain that Rajat Patidar will be the name who would be replacing Virat Kohli for the first two Test matches versus England. In fact, Rajat Patidar was here in Hyderabad attending the media awards, the BCCI awards, the Naman Awards, giving away a hint that he has. Come with the team here. And also, as I mentioned earlier, Rinku Singh has been drafted to the India A squad, and Rajat Patidar, who was in the India A squad, it's a straight swap for him to be here. As far as your second question is concerned, is he the fit person? Look, it's a backup, to be honest. He's not going to get a place in the 11. He's not a shoe-in the 11, as we had mentioned earlier. Shreyas Iyer most likely will bat at number 4, KL Rahul 5, Shikhar Bharat 6, Jadeja Ashwin. So Patidar is just as a cover backup. Maybe as a substitute fielder he might come in. How fit he is in terms of getting a call up to the Indian Test team, it's quite deserving, to be honest, because look at his recent India AA exploits. He scored two back-to-back 50s, 151 against England Lions in Ahmedabad, where none of the Indian batters managed to score over 25 runs. In that game, he scored 151 runs and showed a real good gumption in terms of playing a long innings. He's a good, decent player of spin as well. So it's been brewing. It's been brewing in terms of his run domestic cricket as well. Way back in 2022, he was the pivotal player for MP's Ranji Trophy winning effort. He was finished as the second highest scorer, if I'm not wrong. The last season also, averaged near about in the 50s, scoring 565 runs in about 7 matches. So he's been there and thereabout. Had been plagued by injuries. Did get an ODI debut in South Africa also. So he's been in the scheme of things. So if you want to look at somebody as a next generation or next, a player who can fill in that Virat Kohli shoes or fill in that middle order spot, to be honest, it could be Rajat Patidar. However, he's 30 years old, so there's still 3, 4, 5 years of cricket still left in him, which India can utilize. On the other hand, also you had the name of Sarfaraz Khan, 26-year-old, scoring truckload amount of runs in the domestic circuit. But then again, if Sarfaraz Khan was in the Indian scheme of things, he probably would have had his chance 2 years back. The main reason that he's not been in India setup pretty much shows you that India probably are not looking at him as a viable option, and Rajat Patidar is somebody who's taken over that mantle. So clearly, I mean, he's deserving for sure to answer your second question.
Yeah, but and then that was exactly my next question. That Rajat Patidar is 30 years of age. So is this more of a token of appreciation for him performing in the domestic, or do you see him playing for India in Test cricket in future? Because Virat Kohli plays for the next what, let's just say 3 years minimum, and then Rohit and Virat will again there will be a transformation, जहाँ पे team change होगी. But do you think Rajat Patidar will be in the mix of things when there's a change in the team going forward?
First of all, as you rightly mentioned, token of appreciation. I wouldn't really say token of appreciation, but again, I would say effort of his hard work. Let's put it that way. There are a lot of people who play domestic cricket, grind it out there, don't get the opportunity not because they are not good enough. It's just that the combination doesn't fit it. Like for example, of course, I mean Virat Kohli's shoes are big to fill, and nobody can fill that shoes. But then again, you need to have somebody at number four, right? Somebody like Rajat Patidar, who plays in the middle order primarily for MP, has been a middle order batsman. You need to have that second base covered. Rajat Patidar is that player. Look, yes, he's 30 years old. As I mentioned, Sarfraz is 26. It's a age gap of 4 years. You would have probably said कि यार Sarfraz पे आप invest करोगे तो you'll get more out of it. But for now, look at Surya Kumar Yadav, somebody like Surya Kumar Yadav, who debuted what at the age of 29, 30, if I'm not wrong, T20I
Yeah,
cricket. He's you're utilizing him to the maximum, right? Something
yeah,
similar can be done here. Look, Virat Kohli. I'm not saying that he's going to hang up his boots anytime soon, but we have seen in the last 2 3 years, Kohli is somebody who never missed a test match or never missed a game, but he's been doing that. Whatever reasons it could be the back spasm or could be personal issues, whatever it is, he's taking a little light, the load. So you probably need a backup, and ready backup is somebody like a Rajat Patidar. Of course, he's not a long-term investment, so to speak, but then again, 2 3 साल के निकल भी जाते हैं, तो it's good enough, right? India would play what, two test matches, three test matches at home on an average over a 3 year, 4 year cycle. उसमें दो matches, दो series इनको खेलने को मिलता है, ये अच्छा performance करते हैं. What is the harm? You cannot really always think of it as a replacement कि आप लॉन्ग टर्म देख रहे हो. ऐसा आप सोचने
right.
लगोगे तो आप 20 25 24 साल के बाद
Yeah,
वालों को तो आप दरकिनार ही कर दोगे ना, बिल्कुल वो भी नहीं हो सकता है. So again, yes, to your point, it is right that there's not too much you can get out of it in terms of longevity, but for now
yeah,
he's in good form. He deserves this spot because of the domestic runs that he had shown. There is no IPL style, tournament for Test cricket, fortunately. So domestic is the next best thing, and Patidar has proven that he can hang around. And look, he's played against England Lions. He's been in the part of India A setup, and that is a natural progression for somebody like him. So let's not put age as a factor again that's going against him. With age comes maturity, with age comes experience as well. Take that in that effort, and yeah, he definitely deserves a look into that setup. As I mentioned, playing 11 में आना बहुत मुश्किल होगा. Once Kohli comes back, there's no way. Let's say किसी को injury हो गई. I mean, you saw in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, Shreyas Iyer got injured. You had seen that Gaba test. Net bowlers जो आए थे वो खेलने लग गए थे.
yeah,
And all of those were primed to play because उन्होंने India A खेला था, experience था. Something of that sort could happen, and Rajat could step up also, right? So
yeah,
that way he is deserving, and age is not a factor that we should discuss right now. Deserving he is. He'll be part of that setup. मौका मिलेगा तो अगर खेलेंगे अच्छा खेलेंगे. He knows these conditions well, at least Indian conditions. ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी foreign condition, alien condition में उनको आप बोल रहे हो कि आओ भैया squad में आ जाओ. ऐसा नहीं है. These are conditions that's known to him. So in a way, it's a logical decision, so to speak.
yeah. And another name that was doing rounds when it was of Chiteshwar Pujara, who scored a double hundred again, and he has been scoring runs in the domestic cricket. As we all know, that he goes back to domestic cricket, scores a lot of run. So another name was of his that even if it's for a two match, let's bring him back. Let's give him 2 games and let's see if he does well, because we'll tour Australia this year in towards the end. And Pujara in Australia, we all know the kind of a player what he brings to the table. So do you think
Yeah.
even considering Pujara for a comeback after his domestic performances was an option?
I don't think so. That was an option. Pujara and Ajinkya Rahane, both of them played their last Test match of the WTC final, and after
Yeah,
that, it was done and dusted. I mean, everybody was talking about the transition. Everybody was talking about moving on from Pujara and Rahane. I think the management has done that. ठीक है पुजारा वापस गए 243 रन मारे उन्होंने झारखंड के अगेंस्ट हैज व्हाट 350 प्लस scores and has 340 plus scores as well, has had good domestic season, but that doesn't really merit in the sense कि once you have said boss you're done, there's no point going back, because again that comes back to that same point कि आप invest करना चाह रहे हैं, आप 2 3 साल 4 साल निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, पुजारा को आप वापस लेकर भी आते हैं इस फॉर्म में मैक्स टू मैक्स 2 साल, that's about it. You know, he's also on the wrong side of the 30s, if I'm not wrong, 33, 34, the same age as Rohit Sharma, if I'm not wrong. तो उतना वैल्यू मिलेगा नहीं. His time is done. I mean, that's the unfortunate truth. One of the greatest test players that India has produced, one of the greatest test players of his generation overall also. But
Yeah.
कभी टाइम आता है, has had a dip in form as well. Even India में भी उनका form थोड़ा dip हुआ है. He averaged what near in the low 30s, you know, even in India in test matches. So that was a worrying sign. अब नीचे आके ठीक है, डोमेस्टिक लेवल पे आप रन मार रहे हैं, आपका कैलिबर तो है ही है, बट ऊपर वो कन्वर्ट नहीं हो रहा है, तो आई थिंक इट्स अबाउट टाइम दैट यू मूव ऑन. सेम इज द केस विद अजिंक्य रहाणे. Rahane said he still harbors the hope for a test return, but his domestic returns have been really bad. He has got 6 single-digit scores in the last 10 domestic games that he has played. 8 first class and 2 first class, 8 list and 2 first class games.
Yeah.
So again, he also doesn't merit a spot. And even if he would have scored, I don't think going back to these two guys would have been an ideal option. So that's a closed case for me. You know, you look forward to somebody like a Patidar, a Sarfraz Khan, maybe a Sai Sudarshan, or you know, the new guys who are up and coming. You know, इनमें नाम आता है 2-3 लोगों का और का, like for an प्रियांक पांचाल, अभिमन्यु ईश्वरन एज ओपनर्स. यू नो, कितने टाइम से वो इंडिया ए सर्किट में घूमे जा रहे हैं, लेकिन मौका ही नहीं मिल रहा उनको. इट्स अनफॉर्चुनेट, दैट होता है यार. इंडियन क्रिकेट इज सो वास्ट, देयर आर सो मेनी गुड प्लेयर्स, कॉम्बिनेशन आपका इतना फिट नहीं बैठता है, and it's very hard to get into that Indian team. And that is where I'm coming back to that fact that Rajat Patidar deserves this shot, even if he's in the 30s.
Yeah. And one last question, Vinny. I know you have to go for the press conferences. If you are Rajat Patidar, how do you benefit from this call up? Okay, you are saying he won't get a chance in playing 11. There's a very unlikely chance. So, being in the squad, being with the team, being with the likes of Rohit Sharma, Rahul Dravid, practicing with them, how do you improve your game or benefit from this call up of the 2 games?
Look, beyond anything and everything, it's a morale booster. It's a checkbox on things, you know, you are doing right. You know, as a cricketer, Rajat Patidar would think India A call up is a bucket list tick. You know, ODI call up is a bucket list tick. ODI debut is a bucket list tick. Test debut is a bucket list tick. So out of the 4 that I mentioned, he's already done 3, you know, check boxes. It's like for you and me in a corporate setup, यार increment थोड़ा अच्छा मिलता है तो थोड़ा अच्छा लगता है. It's the same thing, yeah. It's the same feeling.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vineet, for connecting with us and letting us know your inputs. And as you said, that it's not official yet, but there's very high chances that Rajat Patidar, since he's in Hyderabad, as you said, that he is the replacement for Virat Kohli. We'll come to you when there's official announcement. But thank you so much, Vineet, and thank you so much to all our viewers for connecting with us for this breaking news.
Pleasure. Thank you.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.